Alright guys, so this is going to be the first part of this. Hopefully we can make this into a series. This is all going to be about no BS ways to actually consistently bring in a good get income. You're going to be sitting here doing a bunch of what I'm doing right now, but it works, it's solid, and I'm going to talk first about a couple things that you're going to need. Um, it's possible to do this stuff without it, but this is the stuff that is going to save you in the long run, especially if you're farming a lot, doing a bunch of dungeons like I do. For transmog, everything, the two things that I'm going to say are absolute must-haves. Are two add-ons. I'll link them down below. You're going to need the TSM, the Trade Skill Master add-on with the crafting part, which is what you can see right here. Essentially, you can switch back and forth. So here's the old UI, and as long as you have TSM, you can actually see. So if you pull right here for my server right now that I'm on, you can see it tells you everything. So TSM auctioning tells you the minimum buyout right now is going to be 26 silver. So you have 26 silver for one silk cloth, and they're selling for 4 gold on this realm. They sell pretty consistently, 37 average sold daily. I mean, that's better than most, but it's not like a huge number. So the real thing that you want this for is because instead of having to go to the auction house every time you get something new, you need to automatically just hover over the item and it tells you what the market value is for that market. Also tells you what regional market value is, and I'll touch base on all that kind of stuff more than likely in later ones, but I wanted to just hit this very basic one that a majority of people either know or do, but maybe don't take advantage of it like I have been, to its fullest extent. As you can see, I'm sitting here making bolts of cloth right now. I've had 4 or 5 thousand whenever I started, whenever I was setting everything up for the stream. So, um, yeah, it it's just a lot of AFK bolt making. Um, and really and truly, even though it's boring, I'll sit here and I'll just do it in the background while I'm playing something else. Like if I'm playing competitive on Overwatch, I'll just sit here, have my WoW in the background, and I'll just be making these bolts. Because really and truly, I mean, it's not, this way alone would take a very long time for you to hit 1,000,000 gold. But it's a consistent way to have income coming in all the time. Um, I mean, on this server right here, I can show you. This is what I've been doing on this server. Log in a little bit, make bolts, play around with some PvP. I'm just trying to grow on this server, um, and this has been helping me out. I mean, you can see right here, linen cloth. You can see all the way down there at the bottom. If I scroll down, you can't see it, but if you look all the way down at the bottom of this window, you can see last one, I was buying out 200 stacks for 2 silver a piece. I mean, it's, not that big, but if you look, I bought it at 2 silver a piece. So, I mean, I bought it at 2 silver a piece, and the bolt, so 4 silver to 24 silver. Again, it's not huge. I just buy it out whenever it's cheap. Make a couple of thousand gold overnight because it's a fast sell. 69.66 is sold. Um, you see, I have a lot on the auction house right now. I just posted a bunch before this. Um, and then you have wool cloth. Uh, this is the one that's been making me the most on this server. Um, as you can see, I don't have any on the auction house because they just consistently sell. Every time I post it up, they sell by the afternoon. So you just need to find whatever works on your server. So for me on this server was flipping linen cloth and bolts. Doing it with linen cloth, doing it with wool cloth, doing it with silk. That's just what I've done. That's not going to work on every server. For example, I'll show you here. On this server, this is a great way. This is working. I'm making all I do on this character is flip cloth into bolts. And I know that people have been doing this forever, but I feel like it needs to be talked about with a gold making guide. Just these simple things that you can do. I'm gonna reload real quick. So these simple things that you can do to have a consistent income. If you're going to be sitting there and you want to branch out into another realm, um, this is a great way to do it. Start a trial character. Start a trial character. They automatically have 10 gold. You get them for 8 hours. 8 hours is more than enough time to farm. Way more than enough. I mean, every hour uh, with a spot that I'm going to show you guys, especially on this one, because we're talking about the wool and the cloth anyway. So I'm going to show you guys my personal favorite spot um, to farm whenever I'm on my new trial character on a new realm. So this one I wanted to branch out into this realm. I've been on here for, I think I just hit about a week. It was right before Christmas. I came over onto this realm because I wanted to try a higher pop realm than the one I'm normally on, and it's worked out great. So you can see here all the gold that I have on the server. Just in 7 days of only doing this, what I actually have right now is 31,000. Now here's the thing though. I'll show you guys. That's 31,000, not including these patterns I picked up, because my realm has a huge market for patterns, and this is why I suggest that you have cross realm. You can make enough gold to pay for your characters to cross back and forth through realms, and whatever they have in their banks comes with them. So, a bunch of crap that I just threw in here, but here's the thing. So you can look at this one right here, Full Steel Reaper. A lot of people know about this one. This is a very sought after transmog piece. It's Outland Blacksmithing. It's a rare drop. Um, it's harder to farm. It's one of those ones where people put up clickbait videos of, oh, do this farm to get the Felsteel Reaper. All right, I'm just gonna flat out tell you, I am a farming transmog addict, and I have done every farm that I can possibly think of to get these things. I have personally never, out of the thousands of hours that I've put into farming, never had this plan drop. I believe that I've had, let's see, I think I've had Windslayer drop before, but these two never had them drop. But you can see here with the TSM add-on, I mean, this one was 111k currently. This one's 18k. This one's 63k. And this one's 63k. But here's the thing. Look down below. It says market value, and then it says 132,000 instead of 63. So this server was way under what my other server was. My other server, this one would easily sell for 150, 160k. So I picked them up. If you look all the way down at the bottom, you can see I won both of these for 3,003 gold. Won that one for 1,000. Won that one for 8,000. This is just a stockpile that I have coming up from gold that I've made on this realm, to where eventually, once I make enough on this character, I'll probably just swap him back over to my other realm and then sell those patterns. So, back to what we were talking about though. I mean, really and truly, you got to do this. It is a solid way to make gold. Um, it is with all the crafting professions and everything. You just have to look at which one's doing good on your realm. So, like I was saying, I was going to show. Here, let's reload real quick because this is bugging out on TSM here for a minute. So, essentially, you just want to find which group is going to work for you. I mean, which profession is going to work for you, and work for you and work on this realm. It is really easy to level up tailoring. It is just stupidly easy. Um, so I started this character new, started doing this. This works on this realm. For example, mining. Mining does not. Mining does not work on this realm. As you can see, if the ore there's not room for this particular flip on mining on this server. On my home server, this works out perfectly. I can make a gold per flip on copper bars, and I do it all the time. Now, I mean, you're not gonna make like I was saying earlier, you're not gonna make these huge clickbaity videos that you're seeing from all these big guys that are saying, you know, million gold in an hour, all this kind of stuff. This is a grind. It's always a grind. Any way you look at it, it's going to be a grind. But you can do it just so easily. Honestly, and so here's another thing. Um, these right here, and again, I know you'll see video after video after video of what new transmog to look for a pattern to sell. You just saw it there in my feed. I've I just sell the small ones, the cheap ones. I say they're cheap, but it's because they sell. It's just like somebody will make a cloth wear for the first time and then realize that they like the way that it looks. Um, this is the one I just sold right here. Double stitch woolen soldiers, shoulders. It takes a bolt, 3 bolts, and 2 fine leathers. Now this is why I'm saying you need TSM. So if you hold right here, you can see about midway down, it'll say TSM auction DB, and then it'll say TSM crafting. Shows that the crafting cost for this, which it wasn't because I got the wool way cheaper than what the average is on this server right now, which is another thing to keep in mind. It's saying that the crafting cost was 2 gold. I just posted those up maybe an hour before the stream. So these little ones, I mean, it doesn't even have that high of a sell rate. It's 0.1, and it just sold. Um, Not even that great of a transmog. I mean, it will sell. It's just you have to be consistent with it. You have to consistently sit here and craft and craft and craft and craft. Now, this is, for me, this is how I get started on a new server. This is how I make just quick flips. These are really easy to always do. Just if you don't have a character, another way to look at it, if you don't have a character and you see that, say on your realm, mining doesn't work like this one, but tailoring works, and you don't have a tailorer, it's so easy just to make it, even if you wanted to have it higher level so that you could have more options. It's just so easy to make a character. Just make a character, make it tailoring, just level the tailoring, and voila, you have it. You can sit there. I mean, you don't even. You have to be like what, level 5 to start professions, I think. So take a couple of minutes, um, and then you'll be up and on your way. So yeah, this is gonna be the first part of a series. This was just a nice little quick uh, start to it. Um, I understand that's a nice and basic one, but I mean you need to hit the basics if you're going to consistently have gold coming in. You can wait all day running dungeons for that big transmog item. You know, you may get the what is it, the miner's hat from Uldaman, and you know you may be able to get. I think it goes for like 4 mil on this server. You may be able to get to 4 mil for it, but it's gonna take a long time to sell. So in that meantime, if it sells, in the meantime, I mean, what are you doing? You're sitting there just waiting for it to sell. Um, so you gotta fill it. You have to fill in, which is why I think one of the best things that you can do when you're doing the transmog farms is one thing that I ran into earlier on in my farming, I guess you'd say career, because I just absolutely love farming, is I would just farm and farm and farm on the same spot. I'd go over to Blasted Lands and do the triple pull monk farm for, you know, 8 to 10 hours and then keep going. Keep going. Did it for weeks. Kept going, posting everything on the auction house. Would do it for another 8 to 10 hours. Just send everything to my banker, and then post on the auction house. And eventually, I was like, "Why is shit not selling? Like, why?" And then I looked, and I hadn't even been paying attention, and I had 10 of the same thing up on everything. The rare uh, world drops that I had gotten that I had just farmed so hard for, I had flooded the market. And people were selling for half of my price because I had flooded the market. There was something that should have been selling for 50K was selling for 5K because I had 13 of them up. Um, so just go back to basics. I know it sounds silly. You will make a lot of gold with this. I say a lot of gold. It's steady. On this server, I've steady been making 10 to 15K a day. I post everything once I'm done. I switch back over to my normal or my regular server or go play Overwatch, do something like that. I mean, and then I wake up in the morning and it's sold. Um, I know I get it. 10K doesn't sound like a lot to a lot of these videos that you see posted up, but 10K is 10K. 10K a day is 70K. So you're looking at what 140, you're going to do 280K in a month. And that's simply by just sitting there AFK making bolts that you buy off the auction house and then resell for a profit once you make them into bolts. That's all you're doing. So think about that. If you're farming for 8 hours for that specific transmog piece, good on you. I mean, you're gonna need to have that, but for the basics, you're gonna sit here and you're gonna do this. So you can farm and farm and farm and get the transmog pieces that you want and post those up, and we'll go into that detail about that later. Ways that I think are the best ways to optimize, you know, how much you need to put up, how many of them need to put up, how to look around and search for transmog pieces that are hot on that server and different ways to continuously grow. Um, I mean, on my one of my bankers, that's just my transmog bank baker banker on my main realm. We just or I just hit I think it was 4,300 transmog posts on the auction house with it probably fluctuates from day to day when I get new pieces, but anywhere from 5 to 7 mil value. Now I get it. It's 5 to 7 mil value whenever everything sells. But religiously, I'll log in off of it, and all I do is post on that guy. So I just log in the morning, pull everything out of the mail, post it back up, bank the profits. More than likely, from all the stuff that I have posted, um, on a mid, my main is a mid server, mid pop server. So I'll make anywhere from bad day it'll be 4 or 5K, good day it'll be 100 plus if a big transmog item sells. So that's just an extra part of the income. But like I said, I just log into that character and pull the mail. That's all I do. So then I'm right back over to another character doing what I'm sitting here doing right now. And it works. It works. You will it's not gonna happen overnight. And that's why I hate all these clickbaity videos that you see of, you know, make a million gold. Yeah, you may get something that's a million gold. You know how many pieces of transmog that I have up on the auction house that are over 200K right now? I've had them for months, months and months and months. I still have two necrology robes on the AH, and on my main server it's anywhere from like 250 300,000 gold, so it's not even that huge of a transmog piece, but they haven't sold. They've been listed for 5 6 months now. It takes a while to sell those pieces, so you have to, I guess what I'm getting at is you have to be all across the board with everything. You gotta do little flips like this. You have to have small, mid, high level transmog, top tier transmogs. You have to do patterns. You have to do pets. A little bit of everything gets you to that consistent flow. If you don't have stuff posted, you're not gonna make money. So just post it. If you're thinking that you need to sit there and wait until you have like what I'm doing right now with 4 to 5K linen cloth, it's wrong. If you got 50 in your bank, just sit there, make it, sell it, and then rebuy the next day with the gold that you just made. So this is gonna be it, guys. Um, plenty, plenty of stuff to go over. I just really wanted to touch on this one because I guess they don't touch on it or don't make videos on it just because it's a very basic thing. It's what most people probably start out with, um, but it's still a viable way to make consistent flow of gold. Um, yeah, so I'll link the stuff in the video. Definitely want to get TSM crafting. Oh, and the other one that you want to get the Undermine Journal. The Undermine Journal is always your best friend. It shows you new deals online. You can look on their website. It'll show you what's selling, how it's selling, what realms are selling it. Rare pieces, you can check back and forth between realms. So you can sit there and you can go to your realm if it's whatever, Thrall, and something's selling for 1,000 gold, but then something else is selling for 1 million on another. It's all over the place, but the Undermine Journal will help you rein that in and um, be able to take control of your daily flow of gold. So that's it on the crafting aspect of it. You can do anything lower level crafting. There will always be stuff to sell. Um, Leather working, you can make the different types of leather by using a cheaper leather. Just continuously upgrading it. That's one way that I've made gold before. Bolts have always been a big part of my daily routine, is just making bolts. Um, Mining works great too. Engineering works really good. You'd be surprised how much gold I've made off of buying rough stone and making rough blasting powder for engineers. People people, especially on higher pop servers, which is where I feel you can take the most advantage of this, people that are already established on the server and, have a couple of characters at gold cap, do you think they want to sit here and, make 4,000 bolts of linen cloth? No, they don't. They don't want to do that. They have plenty of income that they already have. They're already established, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about getting in at ground level. We're talking about, you know, normal, everyday WoW players. This is what you're gonna need to be: bread and butter, meat and potatoes. This is it. Because most people don't have 10 to 12 hours a day to grind a farm until they get those mega $1 million or gold transmogs. Just doesn't happen. Now, a little extra added fun in here. We're going to log off here. I'm going to show you something. This is one of my favorite places to farm whenever I get onto a new server. So, for a couple of reasons. One, because I think that it's great having the um, the cloth. The cloth is a big deal. You get so much on this farm, just absolutely ridiculous amount. So what you want to do is you just want to make a trial character. Again, you have them for 8 hours. That's a long time to farm. As you can see, I'll do played. You can see down here, I've been on this one for an hour and 54 minutes. Okay, so this is what you do. You make real simple trial character, make a monk, make sure it's a brewmaster monk. This is how I have him set up. You can see right here. This is just my personal preference. Talents: Chi Wave, Chi Torpedo, Spitfire. These don't really matter because these are such low level. You're just going to be hitting Rushing Jade Wind and make sure that you have the Summon Ox. Um, and the majority of you, especially if you've been around WoW for a while, are going to know exactly what this farm is. You can optimize it by making sure that your class character or the class trial that you're doing has skinning. These guys will give you a bunch of skin. However, I don't do it just because normally when I'm doing this, it's an AFK farm for me. I'm sitting there with a cup of coffee in the mornings, you know, just watching some videos, watching another stream, something like that. And yeah, speaking of coffee, so essentially what you're doing here is you're farming for a couple things. As you can see here in the bank, or in my bags, you're going to get a bunch of wool cloth. I mean, so much wool cloth. You can see down there on my total number, I have 7,000. This is all from buying and this farm right here. You just put the black ox right there. It pulls everything, pulls those guys over here. It pulls these guys over here, and sometimes it pulls these guys. And it also every now and then get the Parasun to come down. It doesn't really drop anything too special. You'll get a chance for world drops. You'll get some. You can see I got just some minor transmog pieces, some recipes, mostly junk though. Really and truly, mostly junk. These are going to be like low-end transmog pieces that I'll sell for 50 gold. Now, 50 gold's 50 gold. I mean, hell, 50 gold on this server will buy you a lot of linen cloth. But where this place at? Wetlands. So you're going to come over to the wetlands right over here in this little corner right here. Right, let's see, a little bit southeast of the Green Warden's Grove. You're going to sit right here, right where this little path comes up, and that's where you're going to put it. So, really and truly the main reason that you're here, there's two main reasons. It's one, it's easy to farm. These guys are part of a quest line, I believe. I don't remember the name of the quest line, but so they spawn. They just continuously respawn. So you can like I said, you're going to get a bunch of linen cloth. You're going to get a bunch of wool cloth. That's going to help you build that daily capital um, on your new realm or even on your current realm. This will work, and you can see right there. So I did get a little bit of something decent, 7K on this server, just while we're sitting here talking. On a Sentry Cloak, you can just take a look at it. Oh yeah, looks nice. Nice little transmog piece. I'm on a high pop server. It's gonna sell. It's gonna sell pretty fast. Um, some reason on the high pop servers, more than likely because it's just guys buying them out to flip. But uh, I'll undercut, make it look nice, make undercut it. Don't tank the market though, but undercut it. Don't be one of those that's sitting there and you know you have necrology robes, something that's actually really hard to get. I mean, you saw me. I just was here for a couple seconds and got that. Then you get something really hard to get like necrology robes, and you see that they're on your server for 300K, and that's where. And you check the Undermine journal, and that's where they've been for, months and years or something like that. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Don't post it for 50K and just absolutely tank the market. That's why it gets harder and harder to make gold is because people are doing that. Um, so yeah, you're gonna do that. You're just gonna sit here and farm this. Um, just back and forth, back and forth. Really, what you're after, which I actually got. Um, See, I have 3 or 4 on my main. I got one today so far on this realm. This is what you're after right here. Crimson Whelpling. So Crimson Whelpling on this server drops from these little ebon slave hunters. You kill them, they get the drop. Depending on what server you're on, depends on what they go for. My main server, I'll sell them for 25K. You can still sell them. They sell pretty consistently. May take like a month or two, but they sell on this server. They sell fast, from what I've seen, and you can sell them fast for about 7 to 10K. Nothing huge, but again, we're just talking about building capital when it comes to a new realm or the current realm that you're on. So, thanks, guys. Haven't really decided where I'm gonna go with the rest of these yet. If I'm gonna do it weekly, bi-weekly. If you guys like the video, hit a thumbs up. Um, Follow me on Twitch. I'll have it linked down below. Um, Follow me on Twitter. I'll have that linked as well. Um, yeah, and just come on by whenever you want. Take it easy, guys.